So, this is Susan Woods, your Black Lives Matter fraud investigator. Thank you for your time. Today, I'm going to talk about the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation Form 990 Analysis, Episode 3. This is the third installment of me analyzing the Form 990 information return that the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation submitted to the IRS for the year 2020. In this episode, I'm talking about part 2, the signature block of the Form 990 information return. The signature block is the block that is used to confirm the accuracy of the information that is in the Form 990 information return. So again, this is part 2, signature block, and it says, or it reads rather, under penalties of perjury, I declare that I have examined this return, including accompanying schedules and statements, and to the best of my knowledge and belief, it is true, correct, and complete. Declaration of preparer other than officer is based on all information of which preparer has any knowledge. So the people signing in the signature block is signing or attesting to the information I just read under penalties of perjury. Part 2, signature block, more information, and this is information that I grabbed from the Form 990 information return instructions. The return must be signed by the current president, vice president, treasurer, assistant treasurer, chief accounting officer, or other corporate officer, such as a tax officer who is authorized to sign as of the date this return is filed. A receiver, trustee, or assignee must sign any return he or she files for a corporation or association, and it references the regulations from the IRS here. For the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation signature block, Shalamyah Bowers signed as the board secretary on May the 13th, 2022. So again, for the Form 990 information return 2020, Shalamyah Bowers signed as the board secretary. So therefore, he is attesting that to the best of his knowledge and belief, the information in this Form 990 information return for 2020 is true, correct, and complete. Now, the paid preparer. Generally, anyone who is paid to prepare the return must sign the return, list the preparer taxpayer identification number, or the PTIN, and fill in the other blanks in the paid preparer use only area. An employee of the filing organization isn't a paid preparer. The paid preparer must sign the return in the space provided for the preparer's signature. Enter the preparer information, including the preparer's PTIN, and give a copy of the return to the organization. So that's the paid preparer requirements according to the Form 990 information return instructions. The paid preparer's name is K. Vollins, which is a CPA working for the firm called Rubino and Company Chartered, and the firm's address is shown here, 6903 Rockledge Drive, Suite 300, Bethesda, Maryland, and the zip code 20817-1818. And the firm's EIN and phone number are shown. And it states that the question is, may the IRS discuss this return with the preparer shown above? And the answer is yes. So again, this is the signature block. It was signed by the preparer on May the 12th, 2022, and by the board secretary, Shalamyah Bowers, on May the 13th, 2022. This is very, very important because when you sign under the penalties of perjury that you have examined the return and any accompanying information, and to the best of your knowledge and belief is true, correct, and complete, that's a serious thing. That's a big deal. That is a very big deal. So my red flag here that I would like to point out is Kay Vollins, the CPA, signed on May the 12th, 2022. Shalamyah Bowers, the board secretary, signed on May 13th, 2022, one day later. That's very, very unusual for someone to sign a Form 990 information return that includes 63 pages in one day. Again, this is the Form 990 that Secretary of State offices demanded, that Attorney Generals demanded, to show transparency about where the money went that the organization generated in 2020. Where did the money go? This is the answer to that question. Where is the money that I've been asking for almost 2 years now? This document, the Form 990 for 2020, is supposed to answer that question. So you can tell me, so you are telling me rather, that Shalamyah Bowers was able to review a 63-page Form 990 that he received from the CPA on May the 12th. He was able to sign off on it and attest to everything he needed to attest to in one day on May 13th. That doesn't seem feasible to me. That's a red flag for me. I could not sign my own personal taxes, in a day. I never sign my tax returns in one day. I must read every line. I must compare the information that my accountant put in along with the instructions. So you're talking about a $90 million Form 990, $90 million. You are so equipped with accounting experience that you feel comfortable signing off in one day. You don't need a lawyer or anybody to look at this. Red flag for me. Let's keep going. Again, this is information, the part 2 signature block and the pay preparer block that I have at the bottom. Again, I captured those 2 blocks from the Form 990 2020 instructions, and I have a link to those instructions in the description so that you can read them yourself. So let's move forward. Here again is Shalamyah Bowers. I introduced you to him in the first episode, but this is the young man that the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation, Patrisse Cullors, hired in 2020 to provide consulting services. So Shalamyah Bowers is the founder of Bowers Consulting Firm, a fully integrated political consulting firm whose mission is to support progressive campaigns tackling the biggest political challenges facing society today. He has nearly a decade's experience in developing and implementing community outreach programs and campaigns. He does this work in honor of his brother, Donald. So this is Shalamyah Bowers, the person who signed as the board secretary on the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation's Form 990 information return for 2020. Patrisse Cullors paid Shalamyah Bowers $2,167,894 using the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation's 2020 donations intended to help the Black community. So Shalamyah Bowers, the board secretary was paid $2,167,894 to provide consulting services through his consulting firm, Bowers Consulting Firm, for the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. That is a huge red flag called conflict of interest. This arrangement, this payment is a clear violation of the IRS's conflict of interest policy. I put a copy of that policy, or a link to that policy, in the description so that you can read it for yourself. How can you serve on the board of directors that is responsible for selecting vendors to work with your organization, with the nonprofit organization, and then you choose your own vendor to work with the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation and be paid $2,167,894. So I'm sitting, Shalamyah is sitting on the board of directors. It's determined that they need to hire a consulting firm. For what reason is not known. Don't know yet what services he provided actually for the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation through his for-profit Bowers Consulting Firm. Don't know what they don't know yet. Don't know yet. But anyway, they had a board meeting in which it was determined that, okay, we're going to hire Shalamyah's consulting firm to provide these services for the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. And Shalamyah, serving on the board, of course, voted yes. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Money intended to help the Black community. All of these people who donated in 2020 after George Floyd died, 2 million of those dollars that you worked hard to raise and that you donated went to this gentleman right here for whatever reason. We don't know. Let's pause. I'm going to pause, and I want to pull up his website, or the website for the Bowers Consulting Firm. And I would like to take a look at it, a share. And let's take a look at it because I want you to see what it looks like, the firm. Now, this is the Bowers Consulting Firm's website, bowersconsulting.com. And this is the homepage, and it says, be on the right side of history, meet Bowers. You'll never hear us say, it's always been done this way. Okay, so this is Shalamyah Bowers right here, founder and president. This is the board secretary for the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. Okay. Oh, it takes us back to that, I'm sorry. About Bowers, and it just gives you information about the organization or the company. And again, you can go to its website, bowersconsulting.com. And I'm just scrolling down. You can go back and look at it yourself. Talks about its impact and everything it's done. But what struck me is, again, the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation gave this organization over $2 million. But what struck me about it is the accounts, the other social media platforms that it has, the LinkedIn, the TikTok, the Instagram, and the Twitter. You would think that an organization that has the credentials to be paid $2 million, over $2 million in 1 year, will have a huge social media following. Well, I'm going to click on each one of their platforms. LinkedIn. The LinkedIn has 9 followers. 9 followers on the LinkedIn platform. Okay, 9 followers. Let me go back. TikTok has 6 followers. Okay, TikTok has 6 followers. Okay, again, I'm just pointing out, this is an organization that Instagram, let's see what Instagram has. Instagram has 251 followers and 2 posts. And finally, the Twitter social media platform for Bowers has 8 followers. 8 followers. So with all of the social media platforms combined, the Bowers consulting firm doesn't have 100 followers between, when you add up the followers from LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, or Twitter, it doesn't even have 100 followers total. So this organization is worth $2 million in 1 year. In 1 year. That's astonishing to me. That's astonishing to me. And while I am sharing, let me go ahead and share the website for the accounting firm that the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation used to create the Form 990 information return. This is the website, the Rubino.com website. And again, you can go to Rubino.com to learn more about it, but this is the accounting firm that the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation used to create the Form 990 information return. I don't know anything about it. I don't have anything to say about it. It has experience working with nonprofits, so I click on that, and it does nonprofit accounting. And of course, they tout their services. They do accounting for nonprofit organizations, and they've worked with nonprofit groups for decades, and so on and so forth. But you can go and you can look at this for yourself. I have no idea of the quality of their work, and of course, according to the attestation, the preparer can only use the information that the client provides to prepare their Form 990 information return. They can only use what the client provides to prepare the Form 990 information return. So that's that. That's a loophole that they can jump through if something came about and it comes to pass that their Form 990 information return is not accurate. They could just say, hey, we used what was given to us by the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. So I'm going to pause the screen once again and go back to the PowerPoint and close out our conversation or our episode for today. Again, I am creating these video episodes to examine every part of the Form 990 information return that the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation submitted to the IRS for the year 2020. In the next section, I'm going to be talking about part 3, which is the Statement of Program Service Accomplishments. The Statement of Program Service Accomplishments. That's the next part that I'm going to examine from the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation's Form 990 information return for 2020. I'm Susan Woods, your self-appointed Black Lives Matter fraud investigator. Thank you so much for your time. And again, I applaud all of the other platforms that are investigating this organization. And I hope that our combined investigations will get the attention of the people who can really use forensic accounting to determine where the money did go for 2020 and be able to answer the question, where is the money? Thank you so much for your time and have a great day.